Welcome to the Alfred Street Baptist Church. Now, here are the upcoming announcements for this week.
We know that these are difficult and challenging times. We invite you to stay connected by participating in our online worship services and remain faithful in your giving online via our Alfred Street website, ASBC app, and on our text messaging system. If you have any questions about giving, please feel free to email our finance department at finance@alfredstreet.org. If you're interested in becoming a member of the historic Alfred Street Baptist Church, please email deacons with an S at alfredstreet.org or complete the membership form on our website or on our ASBC app.
Alfred Street's 2023 nominating committee is now accepting applications online for the 2024 open council and committee positions through September 30th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Are you ready to make a difference in the life of Alfred Street Baptist Church? If so, please visit our website to view a current list of all 2024 vacant positions. Are you looking for an incredible opportunity to share your musical talents? If so, look no further. Alfred Street Sanctified Symphony Orchestra is thrilled to announce that they are recruiting talented musicians like you to join their harmonious family. They're calling for all musicians to join them every Friday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Send an email to sanctifiedSymphony@alfredstreet.org if interested. They can't wait to welcome you into the Alfred Street Baptist Church Sanctified Symphony Orchestra.
What's up, everybody? It is your favorite. Some people don't like when I say that, but they'll be fine. It's your favorite, Reverend Ty Jones. And guess what? Kaya once again is back October the 4th at Alfred Street Baptist Church. And I got a special subject for you all that night. Some of you saw Kirk Franklin's documentary, and I want to dive into it a little bit. I want to have some discussions about having a father versus not having a father. And I'm bringing some friends with me, and we'll have a great time. A place of vulnerability, a place where we can have authentic conversations, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So do me a favor. Bring a friend. Meet me at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Service starts at 7:30. Pre-game starts at 6:30, and we're going to have an amazing time. See you there. Love you.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Guess who's back?
Real quick, the way it's going to go is, the format is Jeopardy and Double Jeopardy.
But what I've noticed is that the teams that have been playing have really studied. They've watched the shows before, right? So they're coming in with a different attitude.
Keep your head up. Don't let up. Keep the motivation. Okay, that looks good.
Versus, a Bible-based trivia game presented by Alfred Street Baptist Church. A new way to make Bible study fun. Volume 1 is restocked and ready for order. Volume 2 offers an all-new set of Bible trivia questions to spark meaningful conversations about the Word of God. This game is designed to help you deepen your connection to the Bible. Put your orders in now before they're all gone.
Alfred Street Baptist Church, in conjunction with our Office of Christian Care and Counseling and Mental Health and the Sacred Sanctuary, present Diagnosed the Play, written by Mrs. Ayanna Blake. ASBC Sanctuary Live in-person experience, Saturday, October 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, in person in the sanctuary at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Doors open at 6 p.m. Please be advised, this production contains material of suicide, sexual assault, depression, and other references of mental health disorders that may act as triggers. Diagnosed is intended for mature audiences only. This play is free to attend. Please invite your family and friends to come out to Alfred Street Baptist Church on Saturday, October 21st at 7 p.m.
Alfred Street family, Crossover and Higher Ground are back. Beginning on Sunday, October 1st, our youth worship experience will resume in person for both Crossover and Higher Ground. Parents and grandparents, please note that our in-person check-in and registration will commence at 10 a.m. on October 1st, and our crossover and higher ground in-person worship experiences will commence at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you have not enrolled your child or children in our children and youth ministries for the fall 2023 programmatic year, please visit our website and register today. We can't wait to see you.
We want to cordially invite everyone to the retirement luncheon and celebration for our own beloved Reverend Edward Jackson. Reverend Jackson's unwavering commitment and dedication to Alfred Street Baptist Church is unprecedented. On Saturday, October 28th at 12 p.m. noon, Alfred Street will honor Reverend Jackson during an in-person luncheon at the Renaissance Hotel in Arlington, Virginia. We are so blessed and grateful to have Reverend Jackson for his faithfulness in serving here at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Tickets for the luncheon will go on sale this week via the Alfred Street website. Space is limited, so be sure to purchase your tickets as soon as possible.
Alfred Street family and friends, registration is now open for our 2023 HBCU College Festival. That's right, Alfred Street Baptist Church, in conjunction with our Alfred Street Baptist Church Foundation, present one of the largest HBCU college festivals in the country. We're inviting all high school seniors and juniors across the nation, and especially in the DMV, along with their parents and grandparents, to join us in person and online. You don't want to miss this opportunity to register today for one of the amazing HBCU college festivals in the nation. It all goes down on Friday, November 17th, virtually and in person on Saturday, November 18th at the St. James Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. Be sure to visit our alfredstreet.org website for details and all things pertaining to the HBCU College Festival. Alfred Street's Office of Christian Care and Counseling, in conjunction with our Divorce Care Ministry, present their fall sessions virtually every Thursday, starting at 12 p.m. noon through 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. These sessions will continue through December 21st. Email divorcecare@alfredstreet.org. Alfred Street's Office of Christian Care and Counseling, in conjunction with our Grief Share Ministry, present their fall sessions virtually every Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time through December 21st. Visit our website to register and for any additional information. You can also email griefshare@alfredstreet.org for details.
Our Faye Savage Gun Tutorial Ministry has a new home online. Communicate, learn, and stay informed all in one place. Visit our new webpage and check us out today at alfredstreet.org. Email tutorial@alfredstreet.org for details.
Our Office of Christian Care and Counseling presents our hybrid, the Chronic Pain Support Group, facilitated by Mr. Jorge Wallace. This is a weekly support group designed to aid in the recovery needed from the emotional and spiritual debilitation of chronic pain and chronic illness. Recovery is defined as the ability to live peacefully, joyfully, and comfortably with ourselves and others. Chronic Pain Anonymous is a worldwide fellowship of individuals that understand the isolation, fear, and despair many have experienced when living with unpredictable and life-changing chronic illness and chronic pain. This support group will occur every Wednesday through December 20th. Email pastoralcounseling@alfredstreet.org for details. Our ASBC Village Study Guide is now available on the website to download. Be sure to check out a copy if you want to go deeper with Pastor Wesley's sermon prepared for you by the Villages of Alfred Street team. The guide is available online at alfredstreet.org. We invite everyone to join us for daily prayer call at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Join us in prayer and praise Monday through Friday only by dialing 425-436-6277, access code 246114 #. Again, that's 425-436-6277, access code 246114 #. Our new prayer line number will accommodate up to 2,000 participants. However, once we reach capacity, we will continue to offer the playback option. Call our playback number anytime after 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time each day, Monday through Friday, and you'll be able to replay the prayer call that you missed. To reach the playback line, please dial 425-436-6278 and enter the access code 246114 #. Please note that this is not a toll-free number, and therefore, depending on your phone carrier, rates may apply. Hey, Alfred Street family and friends. Are you visiting us for the very first time, Or perhaps you're new to Alfred Street and you want to stay connected to us or receive the latest Alfred Street updates via text. If so, all visitors, text the word visitors with an S to our new direct text number, 571-977-4525. That's 571-977-4525.
Also, we invite you to tune in to our Faith Forward weekly radio broadcast featuring Pastor Howard John Wesley every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Magic 102.3 FM and 92.7 FM for a powerful sermon that will move you forward in your faith.
For more information on these and all the exciting events taking place here at Alfred Street, please log on to alfredstreet.org.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mental Health in the Sacred Sanctuary. I am so excited because we're back after our summer break. Not much of a break, still a lot of work to be done, but I hope that you had the opportunity to walk through Mental Stamina, which was our masterclass series with Mr. Jorge Wallace in August. If you have not had a chance to take a look at that, it was absolutely amazing. I am still answering emails about that particular segment. So go back and take a look and engage with us, especially around your journey and the mental stamina tools and tips that you were able to gain from that. Tonight, we're talking about something that impacts every single one of us. And we're talking specifically about suicide prevention and awareness because September is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. And I know this is kind of coming at the end of the month, but this is going to be an episode for the books. This episode you're going to want to watch with your families. You're going to want to share with your friends and loved ones because we're going to be talking to an audience of everyone. So adults, children, teens, tweens, and everyone in between will be able to benefit certainly from the information that we share. I'm also excited because I have two of my favorite people with me this evening. We have a returning fan favorite. So we have Mr. Mo Grace here with us from Motivate with Grace. He's back on the scenes with some amazing new things to share with us and to engage in conversation around this topic. He is a licensed social worker here in the local DMV area, and also the founder and owner of his own counseling LLC, which is Motivate with Grace. So we'll make sure that we share his information, especially after you hear the exciting information he's going to share. Also with us this evening is our very own, the one and only Ms. Michele Johnson, who is all things parent expert and specialist here at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Listen, as soon as she joined the team, her books filled up so quick because parents said, I need to know what to do with these children of mine. How do we bond? How do we connect? How do we move in a way that's different from how we were moving before? And so our very own parent coach, she is a part of the Office of Christian Care and Counseling's whole team. And so we are happy to have Michele and Mo with us on this evening. And of course, I'm Reverend Dr. LaTasha Morgan. I'm supposed to be a leader or something around here, but I'm just happy to be in the presence of these amazing people. And so again, welcome to Mental Health in the Sacred Sanctuary. Remember, Mental Health in the Sacred Sanctuary is a sacred space of healing and wellness where I believe God dwells. And where does God dwell? God dwells within you. And so if we can begin to do the work to heal ourselves, we'll experience God in a different way and have the hope that we need, because I know that that's coming up, the hope that we need to be able to navigate in this world and space. So again, we're talking all things suicide prevention and awareness. And we're going to ask the question of what do we really need to know as we start thinking about that. So I'll start off by saying I love how the topic has been, how it's been ordered, suicide prevention and awareness. And so September, again, is the month set aside to observe and make awareness around and give education for this particular topic. And I love the way that it is set up because it puts an emphasis on prevention. Because researchers, experts, and I think this panel will agree, suicide is 100% preventable, but we've got some work to do so that people begin to feel comfortable in navigating either experiencing suicidal thoughts and ideation or dealing with someone who is. So, any opening statements around suicide prevention that stands out for either one of you?
First thing that stands out for me is shame. So I think the bigger thing is like people feeling ashamed of having to have the conversation that something's wrong with me when something not necessarily being wrong with you. So I think that if we were able to get people again to feel more comfortable to have the conversation. We can kind of reduce this fear of mental health, or reduce the stigma, this negative stigma that you can't talk about your feelings, you can't talk about things that you may be challenged with, not realizing that your story is just as important as the other person, and you may be relatable.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you mentioned that. And I think we'll spend a little more time in just a moment talking about shame and specifically around destigmatizing. And I think a word you used a little earlier was not demonizing. When we have to have these difficult conversations. Anything stands out for you, Michele?
Not to be afraid of the word, right? So a lot of times parents, specifically I'll say, will think, well, if I say it and have the conversation with my child, I'm planting the idea. And so research says, no, it's just the opposite. When you have the conversation, you're actually opening the door to have more conversation. So we can't be afraid of the word suicide.
That's right. That's right. And not just parents have that fear. People in general have that fear. And you're right. Research and statistics do support that people do feel very timid around talking with someone about suicide because they feel like it's going to be the thing or the conversation that pushes them to a place where they decide to take action. And just as you stated, that is incorrect. Likely what will happen in most cases, again, according to research, is that a person will be relieved because one, someone saw them, right? Someone heard them, and someone acknowledged that there is a pain and a presence, right? That's different from how I've always known or experienced you. And so it's almost a cry for help. In some instances, it's a silent cry, but in others, it's a behavioral cry. And in another instance, it's a verbal. So it could be a combination. And so it does take awareness on everyone's part. But I love that you brought that out now. Listen, you talking to someone about your concern, if they are acting different or seem different, is going to help them. It's not going to hurt them. Okay. All right. So I think we probably should give maybe a working definition of what we mean when we say suicide. Because we're going to use it in different iterations. We'll talk about suicide, the actual act of suicide, and then suicide ideation. Those are two key words connected when you are thinking about prevention and awareness. And so for suicide is self-injury resulting in a fatality, in a death, and that injury was intentional to cause a person's death. Anything you'd like to add to that definition? I know you started off talking about maybe thinking about how a person is feeling, how they get to that place, but anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think the big thing too is because we're not in people's heads, so we don't really know what the challenges are, what traumas that they may have incurred. So to your point, it's that where a person, for the most part, when I'm thinking about they're having suicide, they're wanting just whatever pain just to go away. And so to have the actual dialogue or the conversation can be a very hard one, because how do you tell someone that you're struggling with something, or how do you begin to have that real conversation about that I may need help with something? Because, you know, for a lot of males and kids I come in contact with, they are fearful, but they feel shame in this idea of having a real conversation about, okay, I'm telling my mom I'm struggling with school and this kid is bullying me or they're picking on me. And does that mean that I'm not strong enough? Does that mean that, you know, that I'm less than? Because if I actually show any sign of weakness in having this conversation, that, okay, they're going to look at me in a certain type of way. Because as human beings, we're fearful of being judged. And with us being fearful of being judged, we put on face to show up in the world. But what's going on internally is a whole different animal.
That's right. That's right. That's great. I think there's some cultural implications to what you just shared. There's familiar implications. There's even gender implications. I'm thinking like, you know, a lot of young boys, particularly in the African American community and culture, right? Don't cry, man up, be a man, you know, like, and so space for your feelings really aren't it really isn't made regularly. And so, thinking about even females, how, just kind of this idea of gender roles comes into play, that females are more, what's the word, that we're more emotional. And so therefore we are more in tune with our feelings when there's a lot just happening in the world altogether. There's a lot happening in our schools. This is a different world. Listen, I'm a 1974 version. I'm not ashamed of it. So I'm a 1974 model. And so things are really like 100%, like a whole flip side different from when I was in school in comparison to what the kids are dealing with now. So adults are dealing with a lot of pressures with just the changes in our society, navigating, managing a family, supporting and caring for a family, being stretched thin as a single mom or single dad. Like there are a number of nuances, right? That can aid to this. And so just thinking about all the things, and we probably would run out of time just listing all the things that would be connected. But that point is a great point that you've added. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I think he's right on target. The ability to have a space to share your emotions is new. In all communities, really, but specifically in our community. And even knowing how to express that emotion. Like there are so many feeling words. Right? There's 6 primary emotions, but there are a ton of feeling words that come over that. And most of us don't have the language for that. And so, especially when we talk about our kids or our teens who the numbers are going up for, and not just in suicide, but just in feeling lonely and depressed, right? And crazy enough, that number was going up before COVID. Right? It was already on the radar before COVID. And so how do you teach kids what that looks like and sounds like, how to express their feelings? So we have to begin to do it.
Not to cut you off, but I mean, to add to that point, especially when adults are struggling.
Don't know how to do it.
With naming pain, right? It's one thing if you stub your toe, the result from that is, ouch, this hurts. But when that pain is internal, and heavy, it is often difficult. I mean, now as clinicians, Mo and I, and then you as a parent specialist in your role, we have to learn how to help. One, we have to learn new language ourselves, right? We've got to do our own self-work, right? So that when we're sitting with someone, we can help bring them into this world of naming and labeling what you're feeling. That's a big job.
It is.
That's a big job.
And then being vulnerable enough to do it in front of as like your kids or other people, right? So in order for us to normalize this, right? To create a new society where it's okay to talk about your feelings. As adults, we have to model it for kids, right? And that's a hard space. That's a vulnerable space in front of your child to say, I'm overwhelmed today.
Listen, if you're watching live, I'm going to challenge you to watch this again and make sure that all of the kids and all of the people, adults in your life are gathered together. You don't have to do this alone. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about my shirt in a minute, but you don't have to navigate this alone. This would be like, let us help be kind of your doulas in this moment, your coaches in this moment, to help you understand some new language, how to interact, not just with children, but with each other. One beautiful thing I saw recently where a child asked her mom, like, hey, you look like you're not okay. What's going on? Right? To empower a child to be able to kind of pick up like, hey, mom, doesn't seem like she's doing okay. And to be courageous enough for her to ask. And it was the thing that broke the mother's heart. And she didn't go into detail about what was happening, but she did take the time to say, you know what? I'm not feeling okay. And you're right. That goes back to the modeling, right? That's something different because, my mom was, go somewhere and sit down. And you don't know what not being okay is, right? You don't have to work. You don't have any bills, right? At least in my household, you kind of get the list of what you didn't have to worry about, so you don't have anything to worry about. But Yeah, it's
or
been
in
bigger than
households that it was behind closed door. Right. So you didn't see the struggles that your parents were going through. They were big. Those were adult things.
Yes.
Children stay over here.
Right.
These are adult things. And it was from a good place. We want you to still feel like your world is okay, even if our world is upside down.
Right. Yeah, that whole idea about what I call the picture perfect. So it's pretty much, again, we show our images of everything is perfect, everything is perfection, while in the background, your whole world is broken down.
Yeah.
And so it gets kind of caught up with this whole idea about identity, worth, and value. For the most part, I feel that people's identity, worth, and value is tied to other people's expectations as to how they need to show up. And now we're reflecting those things to children, that this is how you have to show up. And they can't be authentic with self because they don't know who they are.
Don't know who they are.
Right.
So.
And the other part about this, y'all, life is messy.
It is.
Real life is messy.
Absolutely.
It is.
And then the more and it doesn't mean it's bad, but real life has challenges. And if we want to raise resilient children who, when they're struggling, can verbalize that, then we have to be real with life is messy.
That's right.
It has challenges, and it's okay.
And sometimes we've got to get just close to the mirror. Right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is oftentimes we don't want to get too close to the mirror because we know what the reflection yields. We know what's there. And we don't want to do the work. We don't have time to do, like, there are so many narratives in our head about, well, I know I need to do this. I know I need to change, but we have got to kind of change that. Because that's part of removing stigma and normalizing, right, mental wellness, and get close to that mirror. So here's your exercise. Here's your first, go in the bathroom, go wherever you have a mirror and get as close as you can get to the mirror. And look at everything. Look at every pimple, every mole, every blemish, every line, and love on what you see, because that is evidence of hard work, survival, thriving, coming through the messiness of life, and you're still here, right? That's hope.
Yep.
That's hope. But when you are disconnected from that, right, the pain begins to take over. And it can be deafening and silencing, but we are encouraging, because that's how suicide is preventable, is when you will override the desire, because the desire to be quiet about it and silent and kind of sit in that pain is so much louder on the inside than dealing with and talking and working with someone, telling someone. All right. So suicide is preventable, but we've got to get to a place where we move from sitting in silence and holding the pain to where we get to a place where we can, regardless of what it costs you, open up and releasing so that someone can help.
Yeah.
You said something really key.
Okay.
And you used the word connection.
Okay.
Right? And you said when you look in the mirror, you need to connect to inside. Right? So our connection to self is important. Right? Our connection to God and self are important.
Yes.
True.
And our connection to others.
Yes.
Right? But in order for us to be able to do that, we have to be real with ourselves.
Absolutely.
But we all need connection.
Yes.
So that silent pain can be heard. Right? If you're connected with other people, they see you.
Yeah.
They hear you even in your silence.
Yes.
Because they're paying attention. And they're paying attention without judgment. So that gets rid of that shame and guilt that we were talking about earlier, Mo. And that awareness of who you are becomes important to other people. Right? And their hopelessness shifts a little bit.
Yeah. And perhaps a stirring up on the inside, once we take a closer look, will help you. Once you become aware, like, I'm not where I really want to be, but that doesn't mean I have to stay here.
I love that. I love that because I always think it's important about, I often question a lot of my clients on how are you showing up? We get to make a decision each and every day when we get up as to how we choose to show up.
Yeah.
I often talk about in showing up with love, kindness, and respect for self, that we can give love, kindness, and respect for other people. I believe that everybody's story is important. We all have our individual stories. A lot of times I feel that those that are suffering, that turn to this idea of suicidal ideation as thoughts of it and leading to the action of it, it's always that I'm in something alone.
Yes.
When in reality, you're not alone in it. You don't have to be. It just means you have to be open and vulnerable. Because I'm sure if you went and turned to someone and said that, because with COVID-19, everybody experienced COVID-19.
Absolutely.
Everybody experienced, the trauma of it. We're not talking about it and calling it.
In one shape, form, or fashion. Yes.
Yeah. We're not calling it trauma. We're not calling it PTSD, but that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
But if we begin to have more of a real conversation about it, kind of debunks the shame of mental health. Now I have this label that I have to wear as a badge of honor when you really don't have to wear it as a badge of honor, because it's something that you went through. It's part of your story. It's part of your journey. It does not make you less than. But if we can have those types of conversations, then we can begin to kind of start removing these things that we attach to that make us feel like we're just not worthy. So for those of you listening, all of you are worthy. Everybody's going through something. It's okay that you're going through something, but don't be afraid to talk about it.
That's right. That's right. Our famous tagline, it's okay to not be okay.
Right.
I mean, it really is.
And we just got to begin creating environments where that I'm accepted for who I am, even when I'm not okay.
Right.
Even when I look like I'm okay, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not okay. We keep saying some of this is silent pain, right? And so how do you know then if it's a silent pain? Well, you have to have created an environment where someone feels comfortable enough to talk to you, where they feel like I don't have to stay in silence because I can go to someone that's going to listen. I can go somewhere, somehow, to someone who will hear me, not judge me, actually not try to fix me.
Yes.
That part.
Yes.
Not try to that part. Not try to fix me.
That's right.
Not try to judge me.
Yeah.
That will just hear me and accept what I'm saying, and then just keep asking questions. So tell me more.
Yeah.
What else? Right? So now I keep really being heard, and I'm in that space where when things are getting hard, I can come back and tell you.
Absolutely.
So to prevent, we talk about prevention too, right?
Yes.
To prevent, you have to create this space before that.
Yeah.
You have to create a space where someone says, I know I can come and talk about anything and be accepted, right? So that when things are hard for me, I know I can go to that place. Or we pay attention to each other. I heard you say that the child said, you don't look okay.
Yeah.
Right? So we know the normal ups and downs.
Absolutely.
We know what people's patterns are.
Yeah.
And the silent part of this is when it changes.
Yeah.
And it changes for a long period of time, right? So yes, we know teenagers are moody.
That's right. And we all have days.
And we
I'm
all
not a
have
teenager,
good days and bad. Right. And we all have good days and bad days. But those are we know what we look like on our good days.
Right.
And we know what we look like on our bad days.
Yes.
And if we have that person in our life that we're connected to that also knows what we look like on our good days and also knows what we look like on our bad days, but can then pick up when that shifts.
Yeah. So now we've got get close to the mirror, right? Take a look at what's happening here and then think about what's going on the inside. And now I'm going to charge you to think about like who's in your corner?
Trust.
Who do you trust? Who can you go to before the bottom falls out? Who's that person? Who's your person? And if you say, well, I don't have a person, so your homework now is to find a person. And if you say, well, I've tried that already, now I'm going to give you a reference, 988. It's the National Lifeline number for suicide prevention. You can dial it from any phone, 988. Someone is available 24/7. There are 22 call centers all across the United States. Funded by the federal government and other sponsors. There is someone on the other line. They don't know you. You don't know them. There is no judgment, but they have made a commitment to walk with you until you get to a better place. All right. And for kids, they're always on their phones. You can text 741-741. I'll make sure that that's correct. You can text that number and you can text and talk to someone via your cell phone. So now we're taking away that I don't have anyone. I'm giving you firm, and I mean references that I have tried personally for my own personal life and loved ones that I've had to walk and sit with. And I know for a fact that others have used. So those are two references So if you can't find your own person, you can't find someone that you trust, 988 and 741-741 will allow you to either talk or text to someone. All right?
And I'm going to charge you with some more homework.
Okay.
Be the person that somebody can come talk to.
Okay.
Start to learn how to be that person. And you heard me say start to learn, because y'all, active listening is hard work.
It is.
It is very hard not to judge. And you're like, I don't judge. In your head, you're judging. You are saying things in your head that are judgments. We all do.
Yeah.
Listen, because, and here's the thing, and I've been saying this over and over. If you know me at any point, I'm going to tell you, Brene Brown says connection is when you feel seen and heard. And in order for somebody to feel like you're actually listening to them, they got to be quiet.
That's a great point.
They got to be quiet, and they can't judge. Right? And so you be like, well, Michele, I really want to help. I got suggestions and I got opinions, and you hold on, stay on the sofa. That's the suggestions, the opinions, the facts, and your advice. Keep them.
Yeah.
Right? Hold them for a second, because sometimes they have a place after someone feels heard. But just ask questions. Tell me more. How can I help you? What would support look like for you? Right? That's where you begin, if someone's in that space, but even before that. Right? Just start practice active listening.
I love that you said that. Because to your point, a lot of times we're not present for self, so how can we be present for other people?
Oh, wow.
The other part that you said was very powerful. Earlier, you talked about this idea of fixing. So I feel a lot of people, when I see people, it's always about, can you fix me? And I'm like, my job is not to fix you.
That's right.
And I give them the retort is, you're not a broken toy. So why do you feel that you need to be fixed? We're human beings. We're fallible. We're not made to be perfect. So it's okay for you not to be perfect. You have to pick up all these different pieces. It's a lot to wear. Again, it's a badge of honor that people have to carry all this stuff. And I'm kind of like, when do you start unpacking these things that you're carrying that really serve you no real purpose? The patterns of learned behavior, if you identify them, you have an opportunity to change it. But most people, because I think about generational trauma, we continue to perpetuate the same things over and over again. When do you break the cycle of something? If you say that, I'm not able to go to the gym. Okay, so what are you doing to break that cycle? I'm tired of looking the way that I look. Okay, what are you doing to break that cycle? Because the pattern has been that you've conditioned this idea that you have to show up this way when you don't. So you can change it. You can create a new pattern. You can do something different. You can empower yourself. It's work.
It is work. And it's work because sometimes we don't have examples, right? So let's go back to the idea that we keep things inside. So if I never say in front of somebody else I'm frustrated and I'm challenged, or they never see how I overcome challenges, then I'm not a model for what that looks like, right? I don't verbalize that. I'm not going to say I'm frustrated. Then they're going to think I'm not good at what I do. Back to what you just said, right? That image, that self-worth, how you identify what's important to you and how you show up. But if we start normalizing saying things like, "Ooh, it was a challenging day today," and then somebody says, "Wow, how'd you overcome those challenges?" Because we do. Even though we have those challenges, we make mistakes. We are fallible. But you said it earlier. We still here. How are we still here? We did something. So if we start asking questions to make people start to think about, well, wait a minute, what did I do? And we start verbalizing that, then we become models for other people to say, I can be that resilient. Yeah, you already are, because you're still here. I just need you to figure out what you did too, right? What tools do you already have inside of you that you don't even know exist?
Right. That's good.
I like that.
That's good. So we're here again because September is Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month. So we've talked quite a bit about why we are absolutely in agreement with research that says suicide is preventable. We've given you some challenges and homework to this point. So this month is necessary for us to be able to kind of really drive home the message that it really is preventable, that there are things that can be done. But this does not give, at least we hope, it's not giving you pressure that you have to be the one to change it. We're not telling you to change the situation for a person. Right. We're just asking you to be present, right? And you can't be present until you understand how to be present with self, right? How to actively listen, right? And avail yourself to another person in the time of need, in and out, right? In the time of need and before a need is ever present. So we've got some practice to do, all right? So definitely wanted to make sure that we talked about that. And, this month is in place because the numbers are going up. Yes. You mentioned that. You mentioned the numbers were going up before COVID. You mentioned that, specifically during COVID, we now realize and recognize that the numbers are increasing. We recognize that the numbers are increasing among African-American young men, in particular, right? That is heartbreaking.
Right, between the ages of 5 and 24.
Absolutely.
We're seeing these numbers where it's increased. But now I'm just speaking about for kids, also for adults, because again, they're feeling overwhelmed. They're trying to, navigate these. A lot of people really struggled during COVID, and I think it's been really minimized on how much they struggle because people had to figure out new ways to be able to navigate things that they weren't used to. The elderly was struggling because they were like, okay, you want me to use Zoom? You want me to use these WebEx? What's WebEx? You want me to use all these different things? You want me to use my phone to do this? I don't know how to do that. And they're getting frustrated, and now you're locked in a house and you're feeling isolated and you're feeling alone, which is leading to the thoughts of suicide and then the acts of suicide, but we're still dealing with that. We have a lot of crisis that is just happening around the world. You have kids that are lashing out because you got something on the back end, and the homes is happening where we're not having these conversations about what's leading this kid to behave this way. You have now for adults where they're being challenged where COVID happened, I'm used to being in my home, I'm scared to leave out my house. I feel alone. I feel trapped. I'm experiencing depression. I'm experiencing, trauma, and I don't want to be
levels
here.
Of anxiety.
Right.
Yeah.
So now they're leading to, I need an exit strategy.
Yes.
And if I talk about this, then there's something wrong with me, but something's not wrong with you.
Right. Nothing's wrong with you. But what is happening is that you're searching for a way to rid yourself of the pain.
Right.
Right. It's like having a toothache, calling the dentist, trying to get an appointment and being told we don't have anything until January 2024. Right. And if you've ever had a toothache, you can't wait till January 2024 to get that tooth removed, right? And so back to cartoons. My favorite was the Flintstones. You're tying a string around the tooth and trying, doing all the things, you're doing what you're trying to figure out. And we're not making light of it, but we're trying to make connection with it, right? That you're trying to figure out and the only thing that I can think of, though irrational, the only thing I can think of is that I just don't want to be here. Right. It would be better. People would be better. My family would be better. These things that I keep going to them with and about would be better if I'm not here. But that's not true. You are enough. So I call myself dressing a little casual today, you all. I got on my You Are Enough shirt, and there's a message on the back that we'll show in just a moment, because people need to be encouraged to know that you're not alone. You are enough. There is help, and there is a way that we can get through this together.
And there's hope.
Yes.
And absolutely, there is hope.
I believe
Speaking of hope,
right?
I believe that each individuals are their own heroes of hope. We all show up in the world differently with different gifts that we share, but sometimes we don't acknowledge those gifts. But I believe that literally that each individual is a hero of hope. But I feel that people are losing hope. So to the point of when we talk about suicide, how do we empower people to be hopeful that they do have something to live for, that they do matter? And I think a lot is correlated to identity, worth, and value. When you know who you are and how you present, you can show up and do something differently, not just for self, but for other people.
Yeah. You have a set of products that will be coming out. Listen, this is entrepreneur extraordinaire here. So happy to have connected with Mr. Grace. But his counseling center and the purpose that God has placed in him to excel beyond a place right? He's got his own personal testimony. We'll let him come back and tell that. But he has some products that I want you to stay tuned, especially if you have young people, right? Adults can't listen. We still love toys too, but especially if you have some young people. So could you talk a little bit about Drago and Spirit?
Okay, so you've heard everybody talk about Michele and LaTasha talk about hope. My whole lens for my purpose of what I'm doing is about hope. So I have a book coming out for children for dealing with grief and loss, because like I said, COVID has really impacted so many people. So I have two characters. One is, his name is Drago, one is, his name is Spirit, and Spirit is a dragonfly. And his whole premise, being my mascot, is that he is put out into the world to give people a lens of hope, because I feel that we've lost so much hope, and I really want to see people get back and back in touch with what really matters. The things we think that matter, they don't. It's like the things that treating people with love, kindness, and respect, I think, is the most important thing, and we've just gotten away from. People are so nasty and mean, and I just really want people to do better with how we choose to show up. So so again, I do have things that are coming out, but the biggest thing is the book, because the book is not just for children, it's for everyone. It's, we're talking about grief and loss. Everybody's been dealing with that, and I really want people to heal.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. So, of course, when that book comes out, you know who will be back. Mr. Grace will certainly be back to help. We will do what we can, our part, to help him launch that and share that with our Alfred Street family and beyond. Of course, you can always reach Michele at Thriving Families at alfredstreet.org. Stay tuned. She has new workshops coming up. And limited spaces for one-to-one sessions. Priority does go to Alfred Street members. But listen, she is so kind and gracious enough. She will answer any questions that she gets. And if there is space and room, she will definitely make certain that space is made for you. And then, of course, you can always contact pastoral counseling at alfredstreet.org. That's where you will reach either myself or one of the clinicians on staff. We are working through a wait list right now. We thank God for the influx, and so we ask God for the support to help manage and navigate that. But we will do our best either to have you onboarded here, or we will make certain that we have a good referral for you to be able to connect with. So listen, we talked a lot, and we're probably over time, but if you just hang in there, because I know this is information you got to have. So I'm not one of those persons that say go like and share and click, but this time I'm going to say go like, go share, go click, do all the things you're supposed to do on YouTube to make sure that this message gets out. And so I have one question for each of you that I'd like for you to just take just a minute or so just to answer in your own way, and I'll add mine. So what do people really need to know? So if you could give like one monumental point before we go, what do people really, like, from your perspective, from your experience, what do people really need to know about navigating suicide, someone who has taken their life, is talking about it, suicide ideation, depression, things of that nature, all of the mental health diagnoses connected to that? What do you really want them to know? I'll start with you, Michele.
Don't ignore the signs.
Okay.
Right? So sometimes we think, oh, they not really talking about suicide. Or, yeah, they not going to really do that. They are. Don't ignore the signs. They are, as you said earlier, they are crying out just because they want you to stop them. They want you to help them figure out how to get rid of this pain. It's not a reflection on you. If someone in your sphere is going through that, don't ignore the signs. And pay attention to the silent signs. Right? Those silent signs are those changes in patterns in behavior, right? The sleep patterns, the eating patterns, even the homework and chore patterns. Yes, people complain, the responsibilities patterns. If you start to notice a shift in those patterns, those are the silent signs. They might not come and talk to you. The last thing I would say is, even when you open a conversation, and someone doesn't talk with you, even though you see the signs, and they may not open up. Yeah. They might not open up face to face, but later on in the car, they might share. Yeah. Or later on when you're engaged in another activity. So always create that space.
Sounds
where
like
they
making,
believe.
yeah,
Make
being
that
intentional.
space.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Those would be my takeaways.
Okay, great, great.
For me?
For you.
You know, mine is, I said it earlier, stop demonizing mental health. The other part, I would say, is stop calling people crazy. We say these words, we put out these particular labels, and we don't think about the impact that it has on the individual and them feeling vulnerable enough to really have a conversation with you pertaining to what's going on with them. There's this expectation that, you know, we always have to be strong, and that we always have to, and culturally we are taught that, you know, because we ride on the shirt tails of our ancestors that, you know, that have strength, but this idea that we have to hold all this stuff in, and that we can't talk about these things, not just to one another, but then also to our children, and let them know that we are not perfect, you know, and that I just say to each and every one of you just to get out of your own way. When I say get out of your own way of things that may be limiting you from really being able to show up with love, kindness, respect for yourself and for other people, especially for your kids, because again, your kids look at you as being superheroes. And with them looking at you as being superheroes, sometimes we forget that we're just not perfect and that we're human, and kids need to see that. They need to be modeling that we don't have to be perfect. You know, we do it, but then we don't do it, because I think like with a kid, when a baby, I used the analogy a long time ago, if a child is preparing for life, a baby gets up, crawls, the baby kills over. The baby then advances to walking, the baby may fall down, the baby keeps falling down. We teach our kids about, you know, winning, but we don't teach our kids about the focus of the process of what it took in order to win. All of us have the capacity to win, but we have to allow ourselves to be in the process of that and not be shameful of what the process is and pushing this thing. But that's it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you both. And I think I will just add, as we get ready to wrap up this particular segment, and again, if you have any questions, have any concerns, please send us an email to pastoralcounseling@alfredstreet.org. I am going to make a resource sheet available. So if you would like to have that, you don't have to be a member. Just email us, pastoralcounseling@alfredstreet.org, and I'll make sure that you get that information. There's also a link that I'll make sure that there's a connection for. There is a guide for faith leaders to help prevent youth suicide that's offered by the Partnership Center and the Department of Health and Human Services. And so I'll add this last point, that a person is struggling with suicide ideation, so that's the actual thought process of I want to end my life, they are not operating from a regular, normal perspective. Their perspective and their lens of life has been clouded by the pain that they experience. It is their experience. And no matter how much we attempt to minimize what is happening or what we perceive is happening around or in a person, it's their experience. And so to them, the magnitude is great enough that they've decided that the gift of life given by God, they don't want the pressure of anymore. So it is not our job to beat them with our faith, our Christianity, our religiosity, our demonization. We are not pouring oil on folk and laying them in the floor and telling them that it's a spirit. No, we want to get people help. We want to show them love. We want to be present. We want to actively listen and come from a space that if it were your toe that you stubbed and you felt the pain, that we would help you get the care that you needed. Right? So, we thank you for tuning in. I know this is a difficult topic, but it is a necessary topic because it impacts every single one of us. And so email us so that you can get a copy of the resource list. I'll make sure that a video is included so that you can walk through 988. I'll make sure that the list of resources for anyone is available, so it doesn't matter where you are in the country. And most importantly, now we're going to pray together. We invite you to come back because next month we'll be talking about National Domestic Violence Month. So we're going to bring some awareness, and we have here at Alfred Street an exciting event that's going to take place on Saturday, October the 21st at 7 p.m. There is a local playwright, Mrs. Ayanna Blake, who has written a dynamic stage play called Diagnosed. And Diagnosed is coming live to Alfred Street on October the 21st at 7 p.m. right from the sanctuary. And the best part is tickets are free. So look for the registration that will be coming out shortly and the advertisements connected to it. Invite a friend, make it a date, wear your purple, and join us here on October the 21st. All right, with that in mind, let us lift up a word of hope and prayer. To the God of your understanding, and for me, it is Jesus Christ, who is my Lord, my Savior, and my Redeemer. We thank you for being all things. We thank you for even knowing the heaviness of pain. We thank you for showing us in your word that even you wept and cried at the loss of someone that you loved. That even in the face of adversity, that you used tools such as talking to friends, such as being in prayer with your Father, such as making connections with those that are outside of your regular circle, to help us understand that those tools are the same ones that worked for you and are the same ones that will still work for us. God, I ask in your infinite wisdom that you would be with every person that watches this episode, and especially those that are brokenhearted, because your word says you are close to them. And I ask, Father, that you would give them just an inkling of bravery and courage to make a step beyond just ending life, but they would use a resource such as 988 or a person that they trust to have a serious conversation around what they are feeling and seeing from their perspective. God, allow this message to go out so that if it is just one life saved, that your life is the one life worthy of being saved. We pray for God's peace. We pray for God's strength. And we pray for God's care. And it is in the name of Christ I do pray. Amen. Amen. Until we meet again, take care of yourself, be kind to others, and be blessed by our amazing God.
Welcome to the Alfred Street Baptist Church. Now, here are the upcoming announcements for this week.
We know that these are difficult and challenging times. We invite you to stay connected by participating in our online worship services and remain faithful in your giving online via our Alfred Street website, ASBC app, and on our text messaging system. If you have any questions about giving, please feel free to email our finance department at finance@alfredstreet.org. If you're interested in becoming a member of the historic Alfred Street Baptist Church, please email deacons with an S at alfredstreet.org or complete the membership form on our website or on our ASBC app.
Alfred Street's 2023 nominating committee is now accepting applications online for the 2024 open council and committee positions through September 30th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Are you ready to make a difference in the life of Alfred Street Baptist Church? If so, please visit our website to view a current list of all 2024 vacant positions. Are you looking for an incredible opportunity to share your musical talents? If so, look no further. Alfred Street Sanctified Symphony Orchestra is thrilled to announce that they are recruiting talented musicians like you to join their harmonious family. They're calling for all musicians to join them every Friday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Send an email to sanctifiedsymphony@alfredstreet.org if interested. They can't wait to welcome you into the Alfred Street Baptist Church Sanctified Symphony Orchestra.
What's up, everybody? It is your favorite. Some people don't like when I say that, but they'll be fine. It's your favorite, Reverend Ty Jones. And guess what? Kaya once again is back October the 4th at Alfred Street Baptist Church. And I got a special subject for you all that night. Some of you saw Kirk Franklin's documentary, and I want to dive into it a little bit. I want to have some discussions about having a father versus not having a father. And I'm bringing some friends with me, and we're going to have a great time. A place of vulnerability, a place where we can have authentic conversations, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So do me a favor. Bring a friend. Meet me at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Service starts at 7:30. Pre-game starts at 6:30, and we're going to have an amazing time. See you there. Love you.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Guess who's back?
Real quick, the way it's going to go is, the format is Jeopardy and Double Jeopardy.
But what I've noticed is that the teams that have been playing have really studied. They've watched the shows before, right? So they're coming in with a different attitude.
Keep your head up. Don't let up. Keep the motivation.
Okay, that looks good.
Versus, a Bible-based trivia game presented by Alfred Street Baptist Church. A new way to make Bible study fun. Volume 1 is restocked and ready for order. Volume 2 offers an all-new set of Bible trivia questions to spark meaningful conversations about the Word of God. This game is designed to help you deepen your connection to the Bible. Put your orders in now before they're all gone.
Alfred Street Baptist Church, in conjunction with our Office of Christian Care and Counseling and Mental Health and the Sacred Sanctuary, present Diagnosed the Play, written by Mrs. Ayanna Blake. ASBC Sanctuary Live in-person experience, Saturday, October 21st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, in person in the sanctuary at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Doors open at 6 p.m. Please be advised, this production contains material of suicide, sexual assault, depression, and other references of mental health disorders that may act as triggers. Diagnosed is intended for mature audiences only. This play is free to attend. Please invite your family and friends to come out to Alfred Street Baptist Church on Saturday, October 21st at 7 p.m.
Alfred Street family, Crossover and Higher Ground are back. Beginning on Sunday, October 1st, our youth worship experience will resume in person for both Crossover and Higher Ground. Parents and grandparents, please note that our in-person check-in and registration will commence at 10 a.m. on October 1st, and our Crossover and Higher Ground in-person worship experiences will commence at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. If you have not enrolled your child or children in our children and youth ministries for the fall 2023 programmatic year, please visit our website and register today. We can't wait to see you.
We want to cordially invite everyone to the retirement luncheon and celebration for our own beloved Reverend Edward Jackson. Reverend Jackson's unwavering commitment and dedication to Alfred Street Baptist Church is unprecedented. On Saturday, October 28th at 12 p.m. noon, Alfred Street will honor Reverend Jackson during an in-person luncheon at the Renaissance Hotel in Arlington, Virginia. We are so blessed and grateful to have Reverend Jackson for his faithfulness in serving here at Alfred Street Baptist Church. Tickets for the luncheon will go on sale this week via the Alfred Street website. Space is limited, so be sure to purchase your tickets as soon as possible.
Alfred Street family and friends, registration is now open for our 2023 HBCU College Festival. That's right, Alfred Street Baptist Church, in conjunction with our Alfred Street Baptist Church Foundation, present one of the largest HBCU college festivals in the country. We're inviting all high school seniors and juniors across the nation, and especially in the DMV, along with their parents and grandparents, to join us in person and online. You don't want to miss this opportunity to register today for one of the amazing HBCU college festivals in the nation. It all goes down on Friday, November 17th, virtually and in person on Saturday, November 18th at the St. James Sports Complex in Springfield, Virginia. Be sure to visit our alfredstreet.org website for details and all things pertaining to the HBCU College Festival. Alfred Street's Office of Christian Care and Counseling, in conjunction with our Divorce Care Ministry, present their fall sessions virtually every Thursday, starting at 12 p.m. noon through 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. These sessions will continue through December 21st. Email divorcecare@alfredstreet.org. Alfred Street's Office of Christian Care and Counseling, in conjunction with our Grief Share Ministry, present their fall sessions virtually every Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time through December 21st. Visit our website to register and for any additional information. You can also email griefshare@alfredstreet.org for details.
Our Faze Savage Gun Tutorial Ministry has a new home online. Communicate, learn, and stay informed all in one place. Visit our new webpage and check us out today at alfredstreet.org. Email tutorial@alfredstreet.org for details.
Our Office of Christian Care and Counseling presents our hybrid, the Chronic Pain Support Group, facilitated by Mr. Jorge Wallace. This is a weekly support group designed to aid in the recovery needed from the emotional and spiritual debilitation of chronic pain and chronic illness. Recovery is defined as the ability to live peacefully, joyfully, and comfortably with ourselves and others. Chronic Pain Anonymous is a worldwide fellowship of individuals that understand the isolation, fear, and despair many have experienced when living with unpredictable and life-changing chronic illness and chronic pain. This support group will occur every Wednesday through December 20th. Email pastoralcounseling@alfredstreet.org for details. Our ASBC Village Study Guide is now available on the website to download. Be sure to check out a copy if you want to go deeper with Pastor Wesley's sermon prepared for you by the Villages of Alfred Street team. The guide is available online at alfredstreet.org. We invite everyone to join us for daily prayer call at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Join us in prayer and praise Monday through Friday only by dialing 425-436-6277, access code 246-114 #. Again, that's 425-436-6277, access code 246-114 #. Our new prayer line number will accommodate up to 2,000 participants. However, once we reach capacity, we will continue to offer the playback option. Call our playback number anytime after 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time each day, Monday through Friday, and you'll be able to replay the prayer call that you missed. To reach the playback line, please dial 425-436-6278 and enter the access code 246-114 #. Please note that this is not a toll-free number, and therefore, depending on your phone carrier, rates may apply. Hey, Alfred Street family and friends. Are you visiting us for the very first time? Or perhaps you're new to Alfred Street and you want to stay connected to us or receive the latest Alfred Street updates via text. If so, all visitors, text the word visitors with an S to our new direct text number, 571-977-4525. That's 571-977-4525.
Also, we invite you to tune in to our Faith Forward weekly radio broadcast featuring Pastor Howard John Wesley every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Magic 102.3 FM and 92.7 FM for a powerful sermon that will move you forward in your faith.
For more information on these and all the exciting events taking place here at Alfred Street, please log on to Alfred Street